it's a it's a around 1 a.m. on a Monday morning, and the reason I'm making this video is because I was thinking about why we don't do things that are important to us or things that we really want to do, and what I just did currently. So there was this one thing, not one thing, there are actually many things in my life right currently that I feel like I should be moving towards too, but I often don't find myself moving towards them. And then I try to be really curious about them instead of just, putting myself under the tagline of lazy, because sometimes we're not doing something, लेकिन उसका कोई underlying reason हो सकता है, and that can look like many different emotions or many different things. Like sometimes I get afraid of being capable, successful, and right, because then that means I can do all of these other things that I'm afraid of, and I'm afraid of my own sense of power. But then sometimes it's just also just the fear of overwhelm, or I'm stressed about something else and I put it onto the task, but the task is really easy, and if I actually break it down to bits, it's fine. And sometimes it could just, be like a fear of failure, a fear of like, oh, I don't know, I don't trust my abilities, and that's why I'm not going after the thing I want, because I'm not capable enough, and then I'll mess it up, and oh my god, that is so bad. But that is so bad in terms of shameful behavior, to the point where I wouldn't even attempt to do or move in that direction that I want to, because इतना डर लगता है गलती बनाने में. So I was just thinking about all of these things, and then I remembered this wonderful meditation thingy that I once heard of in an online tarot reading, and it was basically a meditation by Rebecca Campbell, and it's like a meditation for all your lost parts. And I just wanted to come here and talk about it because I love it, and I think other people should hear about it too. So in the meditation, like, she talks about how you call all your lost parts home. So lost parts can mean abandoned parts, parts that ran away, parts that were shamed, parts that you feel like you don't have but you've lost. Like, so for example, skills that you think that you've lost could be confidence, could be a sense of self-worth, it could be a sense of that innocence, that it could be a sense of peace, a sense of security in yourself. So different feelings in your life, or different parts of you that are different parts that you've lost, basically. But how I do it in my head is like when I think I'm sending a call to my parts, it's like I'm inside this house, and let's say the house is my current self, So the current self sits inside this house, and I imagine her sending out this call to all the parts. And now, when I think about it that way, it makes me think of कि जैसे कोई मस्जिद में ऐलान नहीं हो रहा होता, कि कोई siren भेज रहा होता है, but like telepathically, but at the same time it's also physical. So sometimes I imagine like one of my parts that lives really far away. Let's say if my body is a country, my memories and my whole experience as a soul or a being is a country, or like a vast plane of energy. So there's this part sitting somewhere there us kone mein, and she's getting a letter in the mail where my current self is calling her to come back because she needs her. Or sometimes I think of parts that maybe मेरे से शायद रूटे, or like parts of me in my life or my dreams जो perhaps are hard for me to like क्या कहते हैं, like be on the same page with, because वो मेरे से रूठ गए because I haven't put that effort into them, or I haven't given them the love or attention that they deserve. And sometimes I imagine कि वो रूठे हों, जैसे कोई नाराज relative नहीं होता or something, and I imagine कि उनको letter जा रहा है, and like maybe not a letter, but maybe 3 phone calls, and I'm trying to like convince them to come back. Ajo, I'm really sorry, I made a mistake. I know I've not been paying attention to you, but we can work it out now. And then sometimes I imagine like, younger parts of me that were very brave, or that were like depending on what I need at the moment, and I feel like I don't have. So that's where the word lost comes in. So let's say, I'm scared of something, so I'll call out to a part that I think I've lost, and that is bravery. So I'll think of a part of me at a certain age that was very brave and did something. So like maybe 21-year-old Khadija who decided to go to therapy, or like an 18-year-old Khadija who decided that she was done with a certain kind of behavior by a certain abusive person, or like just like little things, or like even small tiny things, like a Khadija who was really really small but was scared of like social interaction, and then made the first attempts to talk to people or ask questions. So like parts of myself that's where I see bravery, in parts of myself where I see qualities that I want, qualities that I know that are in myself, but maybe as a current self I don't embody it. So that I can do it, that can have a lot of parts in it. Like for example, power ke parts ho sakte hain, like times in my life where I've taken power, times in my life that I have been honest and gone after what I want. Uh, Parts in my life where I've been scared and I still did what I wanted or needed to do. But I think what's really important is to remember that even if I don't have those parts, because let's say somebody doesn't have those memories or those parts of, being brave or being strong, or they don't look at themselves as that. I think what I really like about this meditation is like in my head the story still works. Because let's say if I feel like I don't have any parts where I've held on to my anger and expressed it properly, so there's a part of me that is Ruthawa then. So then I look at that as a part that has ran away from the house. So inside my house of self, there is a part of me, let's say, who's angry, who has ran away. And that's the fun part about this relationship with those lost parts. So then I'll be like, yeah, I'm sorry that I haven't invited you over to my current house, and we've been estranged for like a long long time now, but would you like to come now? This is a call for you too. And then I sometimes imagine other parts of me that are perhaps closer to that part. So maybe if anger is the part that I abandoned, I will imagine power, or I will imagine disappointment as a different part going to coax her out of her shell and come back to me. Like sometimes if my current self isn't able to bring my part back, sometimes I imagine all these other parts, trying to show this other part that, hey, we can still work together. Why don't you come around? We'll try. So sometimes I imagine it like a very complicated, complex family history and story of all these parts and relationships where they interact with each other, and then somehow, they find their way back to me. And in the meditation, like what I don't really think about usi waqt sara kuch aa jayega, like everything at that moment will just come, and like I will be my full embodied self with all these qualities. Sometimes I think of it as like, oh, 4 दिन के बाद भी कोई travel करके आ सकता है ना, like like maybe they're coming from really really far away, maybe they have to cross a ship, maybe they have to pass the sea. And sometimes when we lose parts of ourselves or lose qualities of ourselves that we need to be reminded of, or we need to come back to, it does take time for them to come back. So in my head, when I think of them making this journey to me, it makes me feel nice and safe, and that eventually things will turn out right, or eventually I will become that self which has those parts. But the reason I really wanted to talk about this meditation is because it's something that really really is close to my heart, and it always brings me back home to myself. So I just wanted to share that, because that's what I was doing. I was for this video I was calling back all my lost parts. I was calling back all parts of me that were gone, or that I felt I had disconnected with. And it obviously didn't take me 5 minutes or 10 minutes. Sometimes it takes an hour, sometimes it takes a whole day, but it's a really nice way to think about things, or think about parts of yourselves that you feel like need to come back, or that you wish you still had a relationship with. Let's say you wish you still had a relationship with a hobby of yours, an art of yours. So sometimes I just look at parts of myself as humans, and holding on to that relationship or trying to make it work, because they're all inside me. So I can still reach out, and शायद पहले नाराज़ हुए रूठे हुए बात ना करें, तो कभी तो करेंगे ना, और मेरे अंदर ही हैं. तो I don't know. Yeah. So yeah, that's it. I hope you have a nice day and a nice Monday. whoever is watching this, or a nice day, whatever day it is.